Hey everyone, it's me, Wing Rocker here again, and today I'm here to bring you the Wing review of the Hero Factory Invasion from Below Wave 1 set Evo XL machine. Since Savage Planet, one of the heroes will get an XL treatment, which is much larger and much stronger than the other heroes and loaded with parts for mocking. Rocket, Stormer, and Inferno already accepted this treatment. In my prediction video about a few months ago, probably 9 to 10 months, I predicted that Evo was going to be the next XL, and it appears I'm correct, but maybe that's just a lucky guess. What, just because I'm going to say which hero is going to be the next XL, it will be that hero? Trust me, it's not going to work. Anyways, let's actually look at the thing. As you can see, Evo XL machine is decorated with banana yellow, a little bit of silver, gunmetal gray, tons of black, and neon green. Which is kinda weird since neon green is supposed to be Raka's color scheme, not Evo's. In that case, why not make neon purple parts? We all know that purple and yellow are Evo's unique color schemes. Why reuse the neon green parts? But maybe that's just me personally though. We look at the middle section, you can see Evo is controlling the thing, obviously. You could see the main cockpit area, you can see this little lid or something to close it up to protect him, along with some side cannons which actually look alright, except this time Evo doesn't have an armor piece to put his feet on. But you can also see this little bulky armor that looks really cool. This thing is absolutely armed up with armor. We have a radar dish right over here, I have no idea why, a flickfire missile launcher, and to make this thing work you need to flick your finger and they will shoot out at enemies, but just in case, please don't shoot at your brother and sister for this. You'll get, I don't know, get your toy away from your parents. Please don't do that. You also have the neon green canister on the back right over here. Sorry, my hand is a little bit big since I zoomed up the screen, which in this case we get two jumpers to put in there, an orange one and a red one, but I'm not going to get into these guys since the design is pretty much the same except for the color swapping. So yeah, then we take a look at some other areas. Let's start with the arms. One of the arms, which is the right arm, is this cannon arm, and the cannon is in neon green, which actually looks pretty cool. Looks like a toxic cannon of some sort. You can also see this ammo clip from the arm all the way to the side of the canister, along with some flickfire missiles strapped on, just in case you're too lazy to pick up the missiles you fired from the missile launcher over here, which is actually, yeah, pretty cool. For the left arm, you can see it has this unique robot hand with articulatable fingers, which is good, but we'll get to the main problem of this handpiece when we hit articulation. Then we move down to the part that everyone complains about a lot, and that is the legs. Yeah, they pulled off a new leg design, and yeah, it's double jointed. They did not use the black phantom legs for this. They pulled off a new leg design, and yeah, it actually looks alright. They just need to take some time to I don't know, get used to it. It is armed up with armor, as you might expect. It also has this humongous waist that are connecting the legs over here. We also get gunmetal gray Storm XL feet, so you know this thing is really stable, and then that's good. But there are some things I don't like here. For example, the Technic Beam leg design, which actually looks a little bit weird, but alright, I could still get it over with. And there's also one thing I don't like, is the exposed joints here, 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 and here on the top. I know this is for the combiner gimmick, but aren't they supposed to be covered up or something? This just looks very disturbing. You don't want a battle machine to expose his parts while in battle, right? In this case, this combiner is the 6-armed combiner, which you take Evo XL machine as the main body, and you take all the other mechs that are in this series and you connect the main weapon onto these joints, and presto, you form the 6-arm monstrosity, which I have no sense into that combiner. It doesn't do anything for me. On the back, you'll find out this sticking out knob, which we will get to that later. So overall, yeah, design actually looks pretty good, very complex, and I'm actually okay with it. Next up, we get to articulation. Since this is a mech, it has no head articulation, no big shock. So we move straight to the arms. The arms move very differently thanks to how the printed pieces were put on the shoulders. The cannon arm can go upwards and outwards, but can't go inwards and outwards, and that's because the printed piece that's put on the back forces them to lock in there, so there's no way you can do that. And if you do that, you'll get the arm break out from the joint, which is very frustrating. The cannon itself, for this joint, it can go upwards and backwards, which is nice, and it is a little bit restricted thanks to the ammo clip. For the cannon itself, it can go upwards and downwards just a little bit, and just like the actual arm on the joint over there, try not to move it too roughly, otherwise you'll get the cannon lying there on the table. And yep, just press these two halves and the marble will shoot out. We all know that gimmick. For the left arm, it can move 360 degrees, can go upwards and backwards like that, can go forward, backward, and for this joint it can go forward, backward, and yeah, it can fully articulate, which is good. Has articulatable fingers, which I already mentioned. However, the handpiece that's supposed to articulate completely cannot, thanks to the wrong piece inside there. I know Jang Bricks have already pointed out this problem, but just for the uneducated, let me just do it again, since it's always worth mentioning. If they have used the shortest piece, or the second shortest piece, it could have been so much better. You can actually move the handpiece all the way around, but they used that wrong piece, which I have no idea why, but alright. It actually can articulate in other directions, so alright. It's still okay. As for the legs, I gotta admit, they are very, very surprising. Let's move away the arms a little bit to demonstrate. The legs can go forward, backward, and they can go inwards and outwards just a little bit, and if you move the legs the correct way, the hips completely work. I wasn't even expecting this. I thought the legs were just static, but turns out they're not. We also get movable knees. It can go forward and backward, and yeah, it has very great range on the knees. However, for the feet, just like the handpiece that are supposed to articulate completely, cannot either, because thanks to the Technic beam leg design they pulled off, it just locks in there. So if you have to pose him, one of the feet has to be flat, flushed to the table or the surface you're putting. If one of the feet isn't flatted, you get both feet not staying on the surface. Hang on a sec. I just gotta demonstrate this. As I said, if you didn't let one feet staying flushed on the surface, yep, you get the thing actually smashing itself on the floor, which is kind of a letdown. You can't pose the feet to make great poses, which is kind of annoying. But at least you don't need to worry about the axle problem. And the axle problem is meant that if you use this piece to put in there for the feet design, you're going to end up like me if you play it too roughly. As a matter of fact, one of my Stormer XL feet had one of the axles just break off. Here's a little quick warning. Do not, I repeat, do not play it too roughly and twist it around very, very roughly. Otherwise, the axle will break out someday. Trust me, it will. However, that's not all to it. There is one more part of articulation that I always loved on this set, and that is this one. See this big knob? The one I mentioned it earlier? Turn it around and you get a waist articulation. Yes, this is the first and ever Hero Factory set to have a waist articulation, which is very, very cool. And it works very well too. But for some reason, some guys didn't build it completely, and you'll get an Evo XL machine getting so loose and it turns around all over the place. So remember to lock in the system properly. Otherwise, as I said, you'll get a loose torso turning around. It's actually very, very solid. The gears are very tight, so it's not going loose. You can turn around like it's nuts or something. And yes, it can move 360 degrees, but you do have to make sure that the arms won't get in the way. So yeah, this is my favorite part. It actually looks really good, and it can bash some pieces out of the way. It looks really, really nice. So yeah, I'm glad they pulled this off, and it worked out very, very well. As for Evo, that's actually controlling the thing. As I mentioned, I'm not really going to get into him because he is the exact same Evo that came with Splitter Piece. Same gun, same datapad, so we're not going to take a look at him. Over and all, Evo XL machine is a pretty standard XL mech. At first, when I haven't got this set, I was expecting some very, very low expectations, like the legs can't move at all, the cannon arm can't articulate in the least, or I'm going to use a very hatred voice to make this review. Yes, I was expecting it to be that bad when I haven't got this set, but after I got it, it turned out better than I thought. And even though it does have some minor faults comparing to the other XLs they made, it is still very, very cool. Also, if you're tired of the Evo minifigure, you can repaint it. For example, you can make it a black Evo, make it a dark Evo, so you could fight the original Evo, which it's just a vice. If you want to do it, do it. I'm not restricting you or anything. For the final score, at first I was going to give it a 4 out of 10, thanks to my old theory, but now, after seeing this, after playing it actually, I give it a 7 out of 10. It is a very, very cool set. If you're an Evo fan, you'll have to buy this, if you want to, of course. As for the $25 price point, it's still okay, since all XLs are this price. $25 is about 750 NT dollars over here, which is actually a good price. Very, very cheap for me, I guess. And I'm so glad that they didn't mess this up. And yes, I do have some big plans for this one. Big plans. But I'm not going to say what it is yet. You'll find out later. Hopefully the next XLs will be as great as the past ones, including this one. Speaking of which, where the hell is Nex and Stringer? They deserve to have an XL, but where the hell are they? And no, I am not listening to those Nex is still catching XT4, Stringer died in a secret mission, blah 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 blah. No, I am not listening to that anymore. LEGO, you need to explain what the hell happened to those two. You didn't even tell us if you're rebooting your series. Just tell us, just get the truth out already. It just doesn't even make any sense. But as I said, all heroes deserve to have an XL if they didn't turn out very, very bad. And they are very useful For the price points, it's just one thing you need to prefer. But it has tons of parts, a lot of gimmicks, you could mess around for an hour or two, and it's really worth putting it in your collection. So, yeah, that's all I have to say about this mech. And that's my review of Evo XL Machine. The fast review will be out as soon as possible when I thought of an idea to make for this one. And if you like, you could subscribe to my channel because it is currently uploading some cool stuff for you guys to enjoy. Maybe yes, maybe not. And you can follow me on social network like Google+, Skype, just like Wing Rock, and maybe I'll talk to you if I have time because of the stupid time zones. And of course, I still got one more set that I haven't reviewed. I will get to that one as soon as possible. Thank you so much for watching. This is Wing Rocka signing out, and I'll see you guys in another brand new video. See ya!